finally did it. I picked up my BMW E30. I just picked it up a couple days ago out of basically, I don't know, about a half hour west of Detroit. It's a BMW 318 IS 91 with a M40 swap in it. It's not the prettiest looking car by any means. It needs a new paint job at the very least. But I think I'm just gonna hopefully try to take it to the track this year. I just realized that my driver's side front control arm bushing is bad, so probably my tie rods too. I'm probably just gonna end up doing all that, hopefully before I get to the track. I just put new wheels on it. The ride height isn't where I want it to be. Stock ride height on some 16x8 XXR 531s. It runs great. I drove it 2 hours home without a hiccup. Coolant temperature sensor doesn't work. Replaced that. I made sure that my that it ohmed out okay, and I traced it all the way back to the cluster, took the cluster apart, and I believe it is a bad SI board in the cluster. I'm not sure. I'm still very new to this platform, but I plan on being able to get this thing at the track by the end of this summer. I've already got my membership to get onto the track and everything. Now I just need to make sure the car is track ready, and I got to get a helmet and a couple other things. I've never actually been to the track, so this will be my first time being out, but from what I hear, this is a pretty good chassis to be out on the track. So I guess I'll get up and walk you around the car, show you what it is. Like I said, I just put new wheels on it, so I don't like the fitment, so don't judge. We'll see what we can do about that in the near future, but otherwise, here it is. Guess we'll start with the trunk since we're back here. I don't know how much you can actually see, but it's in pretty nice shape. A little bit of rust underneath the battery tray, which is very common. A little bit of broken bumper trim here, which sucks, but we'll get that replaced soon enough. Not the biggest deal. So the only rust on this car is really right behind the passenger rear tire and right up in front. Really, this whole passenger rear quarter is probably gonna have to get replaced. Again, missing some trim right there, but it's got a glass sunroof, which I think is pretty badass. Do not see many of these cars with a glass sunroof. Oh. These seats are actually like a Summit catalog item. They're not for this car, but they match the rest of the interior pretty well. Fairly comfortable. There's the back seat, rest of the carpet. Of course, this car was from Kansas. The dash is cracked to shit. It's got a short shifter in it, I believe. Power windows, central locking, all that good sort of fancy stuff. All the windows work, all the central locking works, the sunroof works. It's got a cracked windshield, which also sucks, but pop the hood for you guys a second and see if it'll pop. Seems like the cable's getting a little stretched here, but there it goes. There she is. go around to the other side a second. As you can see, it's a pretty solid car. No rust on shock towers. No rust on the spring perches in the rear or the shock mounts. The motor runs great, believe it or not. What I don't like about it is the fact that I'm doing 80 on the highway and I'm at about 4,000 RPMs. I'm assuming I have a 410 diff in it, LSD, but still a 410, very high ratio, screams at high speeds. I hope to swap that out eventually too. Starting to be a high dollar part. Probably switch it out to a 373, maybe. I'm thinking I'm gonna end up putting an M20 in it over the winter and then possibly starting to turbo that. Oh, I don't know. Maybe next winter, maybe over the summer if I get bored. Hell, maybe even this winter if I get even bored and I get an influx of cash. So the car seems to be in pretty decent shape. Honestly, it's got an exhaust leak. Probably need a new muffler. But, I mean, it runs. It drives great, even with the control arm bushing going bad. It's rear-wheel drive, so that's sweet. It's a little 1.8 naturally aspirated motor, which is not the greatest, but when they first go out on the track, you don't really want to be the fastest anyways. Learning the track at a lower horsepower, from what I can tell, seems to be the way to go in a good handling car. So yeah, this is it. I'll keep you guys updated with kind of my thought processes, and if I start doing some real stuff to it. I already put in a radio, verified all the ohm readings on the coolant temp sensor all the way up to the cluster, so that was kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, I just put these wheels on it about 25 minutes ago, and definitely needs to be dropped down about, it's probably 2.5 in the front and maybe 1.5 inches in the rear. But I'm glad I finally got one, and let's see where this project takes me. Thanks guys, be sure to like and follow the channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more of it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Yeah, until next time.